Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching us how to sew a kid native shirt and a senator. Yes, for those of you who have been looking for a way or measurement to sew for kids, especially 3-month kids that are going for child education, this is the video. So make sure you watch, make sure you pay attention, make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you've not subscribed. Please guys, for those that are looking for a way to buy this book that will help you know how to cut almost everything, we have our book. Our book is ready, The Perfect Dress Cutting, guys. So I want you to make sure you order for yours now. So as you guys can see, the first thing that we are going to do is to take our pattern paper, place it and trace our material out. Yes, for those of you that have not watched the video on how to cut, I'll make sure I put the link in the description box for you to go and watch the cutting part. We had to do everything. We had to cut it, cut the yoke and cut the sleeve. Okay, as you can see, we are still trimming it out. Now, what we are trimming out is the yoke. Okay, so make sure you watch this video to the end. As you guys can see, we are done trimming it out. This is the yoke and this is the front part, and I'm also going to be showing you the back part. So look at what we are going to do. We are going to be gumming the yoke with a gum stay or a fusible interfacing, whichever one you have, whether soft gum stay, hard gum stay, whatever. That is what we are going to be doing. So guys, let's do the gumming. So look at our ironing table. We are about to do the gumming. Just place it, make sure that the wrong side of the yoke is facing you. Then place your gum stay or your soft gum stay on it, whichever one, or your hair stay. Just make sure you place it. Then next thing you need to do is to use your scissors and then cut it out. Yes guys, that's what you need to do. Use your scissors and then cut it out. Yes, take your time, trim it out. Okay guys. So after you are done trimming it out, we are entering into the next step. So we have to prepare the yoke. In the yoke preparation is as simple as this. This is actually the back yoke that you are seeing. So fold out like 1 inch or 1.5, depending on how you cut it. Like I said, make sure you watch the cutting video to know how we actually cut this. Okay, so after ironing, use your hemming gum and put under. This is to make it stable. Yes, make sure the hemming gum is not coming out so as not to stain your iron. So this is what you are going to do. The same thing is also what we are going to be doing in the at the front part, but I'm going to be showing us another way. That is, I'm going to be having a separate design on our yoke. Yes, this is the back, as you guys can see. Okay, next thing we need to do is just to sew. Are you seeing it? Just sew at the back. Okay, but we're not sewing now, so let's prepare the front. Like we prepared the back, you can also do the same thing to the front. Are you seeing it? You can fold it this way. Are you seeing it? Then fold this side. Are you seeing it? Okay, but we are not going to be doing that because we have a special style which we are going to be using for the front part. Okay, so look at what we are going to be doing. I would like to teach us how to make this style. You can also use this style in other things. So first thing you need to do is to cut a bias for the design. Now look at what I'm actually doing now. This is not cutting a bias. This is just cutting a stripe, just in a straight form. Now when you are done cutting a stripe like this, I want to show you the difference. Now draw it. You notice that it is not stretchy. Now a bias must be stretchy. Do you understand? So in order to comfortably cut a stretchy bias, this is how you do it. Place your rule and diagonally and mark out diagonally. Are you seeing it? Just the same way we have done it here. Now make sure you mark out like 2 inches. Are you seeing it? Mark out 2 inches. Then use your rule and also draw a diagonal line. Okay, then when you are done, all you need to do is just to take your scissors and they cut it out, and at the end of the day, when you check it out, you notice that it is not stretchy. Are you seeing it? Okay, it being stretchy is making it the same thing to be like bias tape, which you can use it and pipe anywhere you want. So what the design we are going to be doing on our yoke is a kind of piping design. Do you understand? At the base, yes, it's a piping design at the base. Okay, so next thing you need to do is to fold your yoke so as to get the center. Then make sure you iron it out. So guys, now that you are done, the next thing we are going to be doing, I just want you guys to make sure you focus. We are going to be piping it at the very down part. Like I have said, we are not folding out this one. We are going to be piping it at the very down part. Now, because because we didn't use the previous design we used at the back, that is folding it out. So I'm going to be marking out 1 inch. This 1 inch, we are going to be cutting it out with a scissors. Okay, why are we cutting it out? Because we are no longer folding, rather we are going to be piping. Next thing I want you to do is to use a gum stay. Yes, make sure you cut out a gum stay and gum at the base. Yes, whenever you are doing piping like this, you need the base to be as solid as it can be. Do you understand? Now cut it out, then make sure you gum it out. Are you seeing it? Gum it out. Then after you are done gumming out this particular part, gum the other part too. Then when you are done, all you have to do is to trim it out. Are you saying it? Trim it out. Okay, it is now time to pipe. Now for you to pipe, we are going to be sewing at the 1/2 inch. Now look at the part that we are going to be sewing. So this thing I'm marking out now is just to show you the part that we're going to be sewing out. Okay, now for us to sew it out, how are we going to be sewing it out? Yes, this part you have seen, we are going to take the bias that we have already cut, place the right part to the right part. Are you seeing it? Okay, place it. The right part should be facing the right part. Then sew out the 1/2 inch that I've already marked. Are you seeing it? So the one I marked previously was not for you to sew, just to guide you, just to tell you where we are going to be sewing. Are you seeing it? From there, sew out 1/2 inch, then cut it out and sew another one by the side. So let's go to the sewing machine to sew this part out. Okay, so as you guys can see, we are going to be sewing out 1/2 inch. Now, what we are going to be doing now is use your pin and hold it together. Do you understand? Use your pin and they hold it together. Okay, now to sew the 1/2 inch, we have to also use our chalk and mark out the 1/2 inch. Yes, mark it out, because the previous one we marked is just for me to let you guys know that, okay, we are going to be sewing at 1/2 inch. Are you saying it? We have marked it out. So next thing you need to do is to sew it out. Make sure you do that. Okay, so after you are done doing that, remove the pin. Yes, then I will now have to open it up. Are you seeing it? So we now need to go to the ironing table and iron. Then after you are done ironing, you fold it on the inside. Are you seeing it? You fold it and put your hemming gum. Yes, so let's do that, guys. Let's iron it out. So use your material to cover, because if you stain your dress, it's going to come out so bad. Then when you are done ironing, look at it now. Fold it like this, put your hemming gum and the iron. The hemming gum is meant to hold it firm. And if you're ironing, as you're folding it, make sure you don't take your yoke. Your yoke must be where it is. Are you seeing it? Okay. Your yoke is what will guide what you have folded. So now that you are done, you can see how fine it's looking. So cut off the excess. Yes, you have to cut off the excess. Okay, just cut it off this way. Remember, we're still going to do the same stitching on the other side. Yes, we're still going to be doing the same stitching on the other side. So let me also guide us on how to do the same stitching on the other side. So the same thing you did on the other side, you do the same thing. Take your bias tape and the place like this. Are you seeing it? Please, as you are placing it, make sure that it is excess. Are you seeing it? It is excess at the center part. It is excess at the other part. So mark out your 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Please just take your time to do this. So after you are done sewing it out, remove the pin. Then we also go to the ironing table to do the ironing. Guys, I want you to make sure you like this video, because that's actually the only thing you can do at this very moment. And make sure you order for your book, The Perfect Dress Cutting Guide, which is going to guide you on how to sew all this. As you can see, this part that is coming out, we are going to be folding it out this way first before you fold it this way. Are you seeing it? It is very important. So let's go to the ironing table and do that. As you can see, you see how neat it's looking. So on the ironing table, just the same way we did on the other one, take your iron, take your material, place on top and iron it out. So after you are done ironing, we are going to the next step. Okay, just take your time, make use of your iron, don't use it to dirty your dress. After we are done, now let me show you guys the next step to follow. From the center part, okay, fold it up. But before you do that, you have to cut off the excess so that it won't be too thick. Are you seeing how we have folded it? Yes, look at it very well. Use your hemming gum, place there and fold it this way. So now when you are done folding it this way, use your iron and iron it out first. Do you understand? Okay, that is what you have to do. Use your iron and then iron it out first. So when you are done ironing it out, make sure you cut off the excess so as to not to have the material bulking out from that part. So as for it to be easy for you to sew. Now take your hemming gum and place here, and also make sure you iron. So now when you are done, you can see that our piping is very, very neat. Yes, you can also use this method to pipe pockets, side pockets, and the rest. If you're into male tailoring, you can use it to do a lot of things. Okay, now that we are done, let me show you how it's going to come out. Are you seeing it? It's coming out so fine. Is it not? So now, next thing we need to do is to use our hemming gum and place on top and iron it out. Please always cover with material so as not to stain your dress. Now we are done. We are going to be sewing here. Are you seeing it? Sew at the seam where that, okay, look at it. You have to sew on this very point. Are you seeing it? Yes. Sew at that very point so as to not to make the stitching so obvious. Nobody will see the stitching. People will just be looking for the stitching. Are you seeing it? Okay. At the part which you joined the bias tape, that's where you are going to sew. You can also go ahead to do double stitch or more. Do you understand? You can also go ahead to do double stitch. Using a double stitch is more like, using your stitch to make a more and more design on the dress. So as you guys can see, we are done fixing the yoke, the front yoke especially. So take it to the ironing table and iron it out. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is we are going to be preparing for the placket. Yes, since we are done with the yoke, let's prepare for the placket. But before you do that, you have to fold it into two and iron it out. This is to make sure we get the center part, because that is going to help us in preparing the placket, center placket. So take your rule and rule it out to extend the lines. Are you seeing it? Okay. Then in order to prepare the placket, we have to first open the center of the dress. To open the center, mark out 6 inches. Are you seeing it? Yes, 6 inches depth. Yes. Then cut with your scissors. Cut it down with your scissors. Then when you get to that point which we marked a chalk, make sure you notch on both sides. You guys already know how to notch. Yes, notch 1. Then go to this other side and notch. Make sure your notching doesn't exceed 1/4 inch. Okay, are you seeing it? We are done notching at this very moment. Okay, so like I said, we are going to be preparing the placket. Okay, so in order to prepare the placket, use your gum stay. Make sure you mark out 1 inch or 1.5, depending on the thickness of your placket. Okay, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm actually using 1 inch. Are you seeing it? So now that you are done marking the width out, make sure you use your rule and rule it out. Then use your scissors and cut it out, as you can see on your screen. Now that you are done, we need to get the actual length of the placket. So in order to get the actual length of the placket, look at it. The placket, we are using 9 inches. Are you seeing it? Okay, then make sure you cut it out. Okay, guys, make sure you cut it out. So I know most of us might be asking, how did we decide to have 9 inches? Okay, remember the opening was 6 inches. Yes, we just added 3 inches to it. Okay, so now let's prepare the placket. We are still preparing the placket. All you have to do is to place it on your material, place it on the wrong side, place a hemming gum under so as to help the this thing gum very well, so as to help the gum stay gum very well. And make sure you iron it out. Remember, in preparing the placket, you first of all use your gum stay and cut it out. Do you understand? Just as you can see on your screen. So after you are done ironing, guys, make sure if you notice, we did not place it at the edge directly. We left 1/2 inch. So that 1/2 inch is what we are folding back again. Are you seeing it? We are folding it back. So you can also go ahead to use your hemming gum, put at that 1/2 inch. Do you understand? Yes, and iron it out. And remember, when you are working on this, you have to cut the hemming gum into 2 or 3 depending. As you can see, we have cut it out. So we are going to use it and gum. Remember what we just did here? We left 1/2 inch for this particular folding. So the next thing you need to do is to fold it again. Are you seeing it? Fold it using the other edge. Look at it. Fold it this way using this particular edge. So use your iron and iron it out first. Use your iron and iron it out first. So guys, if you really want to know how to cut all these dresses, make sure you purchase our new book, The Perfect Dress Cutting Guide. So after you are done, take the other part of the hemming gum and gum it out just the way you are saying it. Are you saying it? Okay. Please make sure as you are gumming it, it doesn't gum at the very edge. Now look at it. Make sure you now give the placket its actual length. Are you seeing it? Look at it. Look at where this one stopped. So cut it out. Cut it out this way. Okay. Use your scissors and give it a straight cutting. Okay. Remember that we still have the other side which is excess. So you also need you need to use your scissors and cut it out. So for you to do that, don't just use the scissors. Use your chalk first and mark out the edge. Are you seeing it? As you can see on your screen, use your chalk. Then after you are done, you can now lift it up and use your scissors to cut it out. If you notice, the edge is still very much open. So we are done preparing this particular one. Okay, and there's still another one for us to prepare. It works together with this one we have just done. So for you to prepare that one, it's just a stripe of 1.5 inch. Do you understand? Mark out a stripe of 1.5 inch and let the length also be the same as this particular one. Remember, the length of this one is 9 inches. So make sure the length of this one is also 9 inches and the width is 1.5 inches. So when you're done, use your rule and connect in order to get a straight line. Then make sure you cut it out. So you can see, and make sure you shape it so that it will look very, very nice. Okay, so also know how to manage your materials, your fabric, so as not to waste your fabric. So you guys can see we are done preparing it. So next thing we are going to be doing is to sew it on the dress. Now look at it. We have 9 inches as the length. Okay, so it is now time for us to do the stitching. Okay, like I was explaining, if you look at the placket which we opened at the dress, it is 6 inches. So this particular one should be 9 inches. So guys, it's now time for us to sew it out. As you can see, this particular one, this is the stripe one. We are going to be sewing it at the left side of the dress. Are you seeing it? Place it at the left side, just the same way we have done it. Place it under, not above. Yes, we are going to use it to pipe. It is pipe on which we are doing. Remember what I said? At the left hand side, that is where we are sewing it. Yes, at the placket point, that is where we are sewing. So make sure you sew out like 1/4 inch. Are you seeing it? Sew out like 1/4 inch. Please, I want you to know the material is on top while the stripe which we cut is below. Are you seeing it? Okay. And make sure you face it in a way that the right side of the stripe is facing the wrong side of the material. Okay, so after you are done, make sure you also notch. Remember, we notched the down part. Make sure you complete the notch also. So the next thing we are going to be doing is to fold it out. Fold it out this way, just like the way you pipe. Are you seeing it? Okay, fold the first one, then you do the double folding. Okay, next thing you need to do is to sew at the very edge, just to get a very nice work. That is what we are actually going to be doing now. Just take your time in order to produce a very nice project. Yes, produce a very nice work for your customer so that they can pay you any amount that you want. Yes, it's possible for you to get any amount from your customer only if they know that you will always deliver. Okay, so as you guys can see, we are just doing the stitching. So after you are done doing this, it's time for us to stitch the other side. Now remember, we use the stripe material we cut out for the left side. Now we are going to be using the real placket that we prepared for the right side. So how are you going to be placing it? Okay, in order to place that particular one, I want us to see it with our 2 eyes open, very open. Okay, look at it. Are you seeing it? We are done preparing the left side. So it is now time for us to prepare the right side. As you can see the right side. Are you seeing it? Okay, so get your placket. Get your placket. It's time for us to fix it. So as you can see, this is our placket. Are you seeing it? This is our placket. Okay, then the side which you are not seeing the gum stay, that is the side which you are going to use. Look at exactly how I'm placing it. Are you seeing it? Now make sure the placket is excess at the upper part. Place it this way at the back. Yes, let the right side of the placket be facing the wrong side of the dress, just this way. Yes, so if you still don't understand how we placed it, I want you to push your video back, replay it several times so as for you to really understand. Okay. Are you seeing when you reach at that point which we already notched, that is the point you need to stop and backstitch. Now take your scissors and re-notch on the placket. Remember, the placket is not notched, rather the one on the dress is actually notched. So now when you are done, look at how it's going to appear. Are you seeing it? Okay, then you turn it this way. Are you seeing it? But please note, the down part hasn't been bent yet, the down part of the placket. So we are going to do that on our ironing table. So in order for you to work on it, you need to first of all use your iron and iron it out. Are you seeing it? Let's fold the down part first. So this is actually how you fold it. Are you seeing it? Fold it this way. Use your water so as to soften the material, then iron it out, guys. Iron it out. So after you are done ironing it out, we're still going to be working with the iron in order to achieve better work. Okay, so in order to do that, guys, what we need to do is, as you can see, look at how I'm expanding it. I just want to make sure this edge is well ironed. Please don't use your iron to remove the shape of the placket itself. Just do the ironing this way. So you can see it's coming out so fine. So it's not for time for us to gum it on, but first of all we need to relax it very, very well, and we need to cut off excess which is coming from the other side. Now look at this excess. Cut it out. Just look at the image very well. If you still don't get it very well, make sure you rewatch it severally so as for you to get it. Please, before you start practicing this, I want you to watch this video severally. That's the only way you can get it properly. Make sure you also iron the left side. It's very important to at least steam iron. Do you understand? Whenever you're working on this kind of clothes and you're ironing, it makes it comes out so perfectly. But please, I beg you, don't use the iron to condemn your dress, because sometimes when you don't know how you iron, you end up messing up your dress. It's very, very important you know the right way to iron. That's why I always advise you to watch this video very well. Bite my book so as to learn the ethics, the so many tips. So at the end of the day, you can see, use your hemming gum and place here, because we are going to be gumming it down. Yes, use your gum and place it this way. That is, we are going to be gumming it down. Okay, just follow the steps in the video and you are good to go. Okay, guys, as you can see, you need to pour the water, just steam iron, and we are good to go. Just take your time. If you notice how I was still holding it, so as for it not to scatter, so as for it not to shift. Yes, do that and you iron it. Like I said, if you've not bought your book, the book that we just launched, the Perfect Dress Cutting Guide, I want you to make sure you buy yours. It's going to guide you on how to sew a shirt, a senator, bustiers, etc. So guys, it's now time for us to continue stitching. So as you can see at the tip, in order for it not to distract you while sewing, make sure you close the mouth, the top side, just as you can see. Are you seeing it? So this will make sure that the placket doesn't shift while you are sewing. So that's the thing we need to do first of all. As you can see how we just unfolded it, please, you can go ahead to replace this side so as for you to understand. So we're going to start stitching at the very edge of the placket. Yes, where are we starting exactly? We are starting just before or after the notch part. Okay, now look at it. When you are done stitching at this very edge, we also need to continue from the other side. Just watch the video, calm down and watch the video. You really understand everything. Are you seeing where we are stitching at the very edge? Yes, do the same thing. The reason why we are doing it is so that after we are done with the placket, it will seem as if all the threads are coming together, like you won't know where we started our stitching. Are you seeing where we started the stitching? Just this very point, that's where we start. So we are going to stitch at the other side, at the side. So let's do that swiftly. Just turn it and stitch. Okay, when you reach at that point which we already stop, do you understand? The point which you notch on the dress, that's when you now turn and finish your stitching. Make sure you back stitch it so as to make sure it is hold tight, very, very tight. You understand? Hold it tight. Make sure it's well held, like so as for it not to mess you up when you wear the dress or when the baby wears the dress. So look at it. Make sure you cut off the excess, guys. Cut off the excess. So guys, when you are done doing this, the next thing for us to do is to join the back. But I'm going to show you guys a technique which we are going to be using to join the back and the yoke. Now, this technique is very, very simple. So I'm going to be showing you. Also, make sure you take it to your ironing table and iron it out very well before sewing the back part. Do you guys understand? Take it and go to the iron table and iron it out very well before sewing the back part. Okay. So you guys can see we are done with the front. So in order to sew the back, all you need to do is to place it very well. So you can see this is the wrong side of the back. So make sure you place the wrong side of the front to the wrong side of the back. Just the normal way dress used to be. Please, not the regular way you sew your dress. You place it in order to close the shoulder. This one is the regular way the clothes used to be. The wrong side facing the wrong side. Are you seeing it? Now take your yoke. Look at what I'm doing. The wrong side facing the wrong side. Are you seeing it? Now take your yoke and make sure the right side of your yoke is facing your front side. Look at it just this way. Then make sure you close the shoulder. Yes. If you do it like this, I promise it's going to come out so well. The shoulder is going to come out so neatly that you didn't, in fact, in a way you did not even expect. So let's close it, guys. So you can see we have closed the one on the right side. So let's do the same thing on the one on the left hand side. So make sure you take your time and they finish your work. So you guys can see it's looking very, very neat. Next thing you need to do is to top stitch at the very edge which you did your first stitching. Yes, you must top stitch so as to make sure that the yoke is well relaxed on the dress. So make sure you do your top stitching, guys. So you guys, I want you to use the same process to top stitch. Yes. So make sure you cut off the excess thread. So you guys can see we have top stitched it. Next we are going to do is to go to the ironing table and iron out the yoke. Yes, you must iron it out. You must make it relax. So all you have to do is to use your hemming gun, put under and iron it swiftly. Do you understand? Okay. Please be very careful while ironing it. After we are done ironing it, next thing we are going to do is to sew out the yoke. Yes, take your time and iron it. As you can see, we are done ironing it. Next thing I need you to do is to fold it this way. Are you seeing it? Make sure this part, see, at this very moment, we want to get the middle part of the shoulder. So place it this way. Are you seeing? Make sure everything is equal. Then the back is going to be coming over to the front. That is exactly how we want it. And make sure the left is the same thing as the right. So we are done with this other side. Let's do the same thing. Place it this way. Make sure it's very equal at the armpits. Are you seeing it? Just the way you are seeing it. So make sure you cover, spray your water if you're not using a steam iron, and iron it out. So when we are done doing this, we are going to get a new middle part of the shoulder. As you can see, the part we join the shoulder is no longer the middle part. The middle part is this part which we are notching. So do the same notching on the other side. Are you seeing it? Okay, do the notching at the other side. So at this very moment, we are going to be trimming the neck. As you can see, the neck is somehow. So let's trim it a little bit so as to achieve a better work. Look at it. Just follow the same procedure which I'm using. Use it and trim the neck. So I want you guys to know the part we notched on the shoulder is going to be, when we are going to be sewing out to the sleeve, the center part of the sleeve is going to be corresponding to the center part of the shoulder, which is the part that we notched. So this is the sleeve here. So let's prepare the sleeve. The best way for you to prepare the sleeve is to first of all get the right and the wrong side. As you can see, that is what I'm doing here. I'm getting the right and the wrong side. So make sure you place your material, making sure that, see, don't place it this way. Make sure you place it so that the right side will be facing the wrong side. Are you seeing it? Just this way. Look at it. Yeah, the both wrong side will be facing you. So that when you fold both of them, now look at it. I'm not preparing my sleeves separate. I'm preparing it together. So place it such that both the wrong side will be facing you. Do you understand? We'll be going up, we'll be facing you. So now let's unfold out. We are going to be folding out half an inch first. So take your time and fold it out. After you are done, then fold out the hemming part of the sleeve. Are you seeing it? Fold it out. We already have the points which we are going to stop. Okay, because the total allowance for the hemming part of the sleeve, I think, is 2 inches or 3 inches. That is what you have done. So next thing you need to do is to separate both. Now, when you've separated it, you now notice that the folding has been applied on both of them. So place your hemming gum, as you can see. Then make sure you iron it out. Do whatever you do on this very one, please do make sure you do it on the other one. Are you saying it? Okay. So I believe at the end of this particular project that you guys will learn a lot. Yes, you guys will learn a lot, and you guys will be happy that you paid for this particular course. Thanks, and may God bless you. So as you guys can see, we are 100% done with the sleeve preparation. So next thing we are going to do is let's just go and do our stitching. So when we get to the sewing machine, we have to sew all the parts that, okay, especially, let me show you guys something. This is actually the sleeve and this is the dress. Are you seeing it? So what we need to do now, remember the yoke, we only gummed it. We have not sewn anything on the yoke. So we need to first of all do the stitching on the yoke. Yes, we need to do that. So let's sew out the yoke. After we are done sewing out the yoke, you can also do a double stitching on the yoke. Next thing you need to do is to put the sleeve. Remember the sleeve I told you, the middle part of the sleeve. First of all, you need to know the part which is going to correspond to each side of this armhole. Now, as you can see, look at it. This is the best way. Now, look very well. The front side which is going in is facing the front side which is going in on the dress. So this is how it matches. Are you saying it? Okay. So now unfold it, expand it. This is the middle part of the armhole for the body. This is the middle part. This is what you are going to do. Are you saying it? So place two of them together. From that center, sew to the other side. Then you do the same thing again. You repeat it again from the center, sew to the other side. Are you saying it? Okay, now repeat it again. Turn it from the center. Make sure you also sew to the other side. This is what you're going to do both on the other sleeve, and the armhole. Do you understand? Okay. So if you've not liked this video, I want you to make sure you like this video. It is very important you do that for us. Do you understand? And if you've not purchased your the perfect dress cutting guide, the book that we published for you, that is very well detailed, make sure you do order for yours. As you guys can see, we are stitching out the sleeve. Remember, we have not stitched out the sleeve, the hemming part. We need to also stitch it out. So this is it. Let's stitch out. We are still stitching out the sleeve. So sometimes on a sleeve we do a lot of stitches. This is to give it more design. That is why we do a lot of stitches. Do you understand? So you can also choose to do a one-time stitch. Do you understand? It is all your choice and depending on what you actually want to make. Okay, guys. So that's it. Just take your time. I know this video is a bit long, but I promise you that it is very, very well detailed. So guys, take your time, sew it out. So next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be overlocking. We're going to be weaving it out. So take your time and weave it out. So at this very point, this is the best time. This is the best time for you to weave. There are different time that you can weave, but this particular time is the best time for you to weave. So next thing you need to do is time for us to close our dress. So make sure you cross check. Now turn it in a way that you are supposed to close it. Remember, we start closing from the sleeve. Are you seeing it? Okay, so let's check out the sleeve. We are going to be marking out 4 inches. Are you seeing it? It means that the sleeve circumference is 8 inches. So divided by 2 is 4 inches. So at the side, we are going to be closing with 1.5. Are you seeing it? Yes. Remember, we added extra 2 inches body allowance. So we are going to be closing with how many? 1.5. Yes. So let's do the closing. Please, I want you guys to know I'm closing with 1.5 because when I was measuring, I used a loose fitting measurement. That is, I measured him in a way that at least we know that the cloth is going to fit in very, very well. Okay, so this is it. So when you reach at this very point, as you can see, you backstitch and they stop. Please do the same thing on the other side. It's very important you do that. Make sure you mark out 4 inches since the sleeve circumference is 8 inches divided by 2, which is 4. Then at the side, make sure you mark out 1.5 inches since we added extra 2 inches allowance to the body. Yes, at the end of the day, it's still going to come out well fitted and nice on the baby. Okay. So make sure you continue stitching. Then at this very point, which at the slit point, Make sure you back stitch. Okay, so next thing we are going to be doing is we are going to the ironing table to iron it out. Yes, so let's cross check. So in order for us to iron it out, we have to open up the side, as we are going to be doing now. Are you seeing it? Open up the side like this. Okay, then use your iron and they iron it out. This is how we prepare the slate. Do you understand? It's very important you watch how I'm going to be preparing this slate. So use your iron and iron it out just this way. Okay, now when you are done, fold out this side, because I don't like leaving mine with the overlocking or the weaving just that way. Fold it out. Make sure you fold it out. Let it just be like 2 inches width. Do you understand? That is if you have enough. If you don't have enough, let it be like 1.5 or 1 inch width. Okay, so put your hemming gum just as you have seen now, and make sure you iron it out. Please, whatever you do on this very side is the same thing you are going to be doing on the other side. Okay, turn it and then make sure you iron just the same way. Then make sure you fold it out about 2 inches if you have enough. Are you seeing it? If you don't have enough 2 inches, then put your hemming gum. If you don't have like up to 2 inches, make sure you make it 1 inch or 1.5, depending on how many inches you added for your slit width. Okay, then make sure you also iron out your sleeve side. Yes, make sure you open your seams and iron them out very, very well. Please, whatever you do on the other side, do it on the other side too. Are you saying it? So it's not time to fold this side. So measure out and know how many inches that is remaining for you to hem your dress. So that is what we are using now. So I'm going to be using 1 inch to hem, because that is what I noticed that I need at this very moment. So after you are done, take your hemming gum and put it. Then make sure you hem it very, very well. Please, whatever you do here is what you are going to do on the other side. Remember, this is actually the front part. We are still going to be doing the same thing at the back side. But please, when you are working on the back side, there's something I want you to know. I want you to know that at the slit point, that both of them must be equal. Make sure that no part of your slit is bigger than the other side, is longer than the other side. Are you seeing it? Make sure that both of them are equal. Look at what I'm doing now. Yes, both of them must be equal. Okay, then if both of them are equal, make sure you iron out that very side. Then do the same thing on the other side before you now straighten it down and do your final ironing. Are you seeing it? Okay, iron it out. Then do exactly the same thing on the other side. Now look at it. Both of them must be equal. Are you seeing it? Then fold. Look at it. Make sure that it is very, very equal. Then you fold. Okay, then when you fold, iron it out. After you're done ironing it out, then you now expand it, iron the whole thing. Since you have gotten the edge which you are going to be using, now use hemming gum and put it. Okay, then let's on that part, please, you can leave it like that, or you can also go ahead to stitch at the very edge. Do you understand? To stitch at it. Yes. To some customers, I don't like to stitch again. I just like to use the hemming gum very well. Do you understand? Or go to finishing offices where they do finishing. I tell them to hem it for me. That is English hemming. Do you understand? They use the hemming machine to hem it. But you can also go ahead to do your stitching this way. Are you seeing how I'm stitching it out? Okay. Just take your time and stitch it. Whatever you do on this very side, please, I want you to do the same thing on the other side. Do the same thing on the other side. So let's do the same thing on the other side. As you can see, open up a little part of where you hemmed. Are you seeing it? That is what we have just done. Okay, you can take this video back to watch it again and again for you to really understand. Do you understand? I promise you, watching a video once can never give you everything you need. You need to watch it as many as you can, as many times as you can, in order to get a better and perfect job. Just take your time to deliver a nice job. Please, guys, I want you to remember, when you are done with the stitching, it means that your dress is ready. You need to go and iron it. But remember, we've not piped the neck, because we actually need to pipe the neck. It is very important for us to pipe the neck. Okay, so it's time to close this down part. So just close it as fast as you can, which we all know is very simple to close. Okay, and remember also, since we have also used our hemming gum to hold it firm, so it will not be that hard for us to sew. As you can see, this is how you sew it. So whatever you do on this very side, make sure you do it on the other side also. This is the back side, so do exactly the same thing on the front side. As you can see, looking very nice. So guys, we are all done. Use your scissors and cut off the excess. Please don't do what I'm doing using my hand. You can mess up your dress. It's just a bad habit. So I don't want you to really learn that particular one. Thank you very much. So as you guys can see, the cloth is ready. So you can go ahead to iron it out. So now talking about the neck. Let's say the neck is 11 and a half, as you can see. You have to confirm if it is 11 and a half. Please, I would like to give you an advice. If your neck is 11 and a half, always add one extra to it. Yes, let it be 12 and a half. So if you notice, it is not, the neck is not enough, so I'm just trimming it again. This trimming method is the best. Do you understand? Trim it as you are looking at it. Are you seeing it? Make sure it is all right. Okay, use your pin and hold it. So if you don't understand how I marked this thing, I want you to watch it again. Do you understand? So use your scissors and trim it out. Please, anytime you want to trim, always trim on depth, not on the width. Please, do you understand? Just like what I've done now. So you have to, let's cross check it again. Remember what I said? We already have 11 and a half. So let's see whether we can get 12 and a half or anything closer to that. So as you guys can see, I think we have our 12 and a half. So now let's prepare the bias for the piping. Now remember how we prepared the bias for piping the yoke is the same way we are actually going to be using. Are you seeing it? Place and mark diagonally, just this way. Okay, yes. And when you are done cutting it out, next thing you just have to do is to prepare the neck piping. So in order for you to prepare the neck pipe, remember you are going to be using your hemming gum. So we need to cut this hemming gum into pieces because we actually need it tiny, not as bold as you can see it here. Do you understand? So make sure you cut it into pieces. Are you seeing it? So mine, I think I actually divided it into 3. Okay. So what we are going to be doing now is we are going to be using it on one side of our our bias material. You fold out ½ inch. Please remember the width of this bias material is 2 inches, while the length is obviously longer than the circumference of the neck. Remember the circumference of the neck we got is 12 and a half. That means this should be like around 16. Just that 12 and a half, add extra 5 inches to it. Do you understand? It should be up to around 17. So now when you are done folding out this very part, next thing you need to do is to fold out the other part. Yes, also use the same ½ inch or ¼ inch to fold it out. No, use ¼ inch. I think that would be the best. Yes, use ¼ inch to fold it out. Okay, so this is what we are going to be doing. Are you seeing it? We did it on the other side. We are now doing it on this other very side. Okay, guys, we're almost good to go. So when you are done, what I want you to do is to fold the two edges, fold the head and the tail. Yes, fold is just the same way we have folded the side. Are you seeing it? So let's fold it. So let's cut off the excess first. Let's trim it out. Okay. So get a hemming gum, small hemming gum, place it, fold and iron. Place whatever you do on this very side is exactly the same thing you're going to do on the other side. So take your time and the iron. Please do the same thing on the other side. It's very important, you must do that. Are you seeing it? That is what we are doing in a very swift manner. So now, this part I really want you guys to understand. We are going to fold it and iron. Please, as you're folding, make sure you don't fold it equal. Make sure as you're folding, one part is like longer with ¼ inch Are you seeing it? The way we are folding it now, we are leaving out quarter inch at the very down one, the one at behind. We are leaving out. Please don't fold both of them equal. It's good for you to know that. Please, I want you to from now henceforth pay attention so as you know that you don't fold it equal. Fold it in a way that the upper side will be quarter inch less when it comes to the folding. Now look at it. I want you to look at it very well. Okay, if you look at it, you notice that one is longer with quarter inch. Are you seeing it? Look at the folding very, very well. I want you, it might not be 100% clear, but okay, now look at it, you can now see it. Are you seeing it? So let's use it. Let me show you guys how we are going to be using it to pipe the neck. It is not hard, it's very simple. Just put it this way, open it up, put it. That is how we are going to be using it. So you pipe the neck from the beginning down to the end. So I would like us to go to the sewing machine so that will teach us how to use it and pipe the neck. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, we are almost getting through with this particular tutorial. So thank you very, very much for being there. Are you seeing it? Place it this way. Make sure the longer part is at the back side, at the wrong side of the neck. Are you seeing it? Okay. For those of you that don't see it very well, please, I would like you to replay this video so as for you to really understand it better. Are you seeing it? Okay. So all you have to do is the more you, as you are sewing, you are fixing it. Are you seeing it? Yes, that is what. So when you reach at the end, cut it off and refold it so as to finish your dress. So at the end of the day, we are done with this particular tutorial. So you can go ahead to do more and more top stitching on the neck so as to give it a very professional look. Do you guys understand? Thanks and may God bless you. We are done with this very tutorial and I bless you all.